श्याम सुंदर की
जय।
श्री गौर निताय की
जय।
नरसिंहदेव भगवान की
जय।
श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय।
गौर प्रेमानंदे ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
So today we are going to discuss from Canto 10, chapter 71, sloka number 15. Nivajkanchana sibika virachyutam. Nivajkanchana sivika virachyutam.
Nirvājankanchana sivika virachyutam.
Sahatmajapati manu subratayayu.
Sahatmajapati manu subratayayu.
Varam varavarana vilepana srajaha.
Varam varavarana vilepana
Susambrita nivira sicharma panivihi.
Susambrita nivira sicharma panivihi. Nirvājankanchana sivika virachyutam. Nirvājankanchana sivika virachyutam. Sahatmajapati manu subratayayu. Sahatmajapati manu subratayayu. Varam varavarana vilepana srajaha. Varam varavarana vilepana srajaha. Susambrita nivira sicharma panivihi. Susambrita nivira sicharma panivihi.
Nirvājankanchana sivika virachyutam.
Nirvājankanchana sivika virachyutam.
Sahatmajapati manusubhratayayu.
Sahatmajapati manusubhratayayu.
Varam varavarana vilepana srajaha.
Varam varavarana vilepana srajaha.
Susambrita nirvirasi charma panivihi.
Susambrita nirvirasi charma panivihi.
Nirvājankanchana sivika virachyutam.
Nirvājankanchana sivika virachyutam.
Sahatmajapati manusubhratayayu.
Sahatmajapati manusubhratayayu.
Varam varavarana vilepana srajaha. Susambrita nirvirasi charma panivihi.
Susambrita nirvirasi charma panivihi.
Nirvājankanchana sivika virachyutam.
Nirvājankanchana sivika virachyutam.
Sahatmajapati manu subratayayu.
Sahatmajapati manusubhratayayu.
Varam varavarana vilepena srajaha.
Varam varavarana vilepana srajaha.
Sambrita nirvirasi charma panivihi.
Susambrita nirvirasi charma panivihi.
Word-to-word translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Ki jai. Nri, human. Vaji, with powerful carriers. Kanchana, golden. Shivikavi, with palanquins. Achyutam, Lord Krishna. Sa Atmaja, along with their children. Patim, their husband. Anu, following. Subrata, his faithful wives. Yayu, went. Vara,
Vara,
fine.
fine.
Ambara,
Ambara,
whose clothes.
whose clothes.
Avaran,
Avaran,
ornaments.
ornaments.
Vilepana,
Vilepana,
fragrant oils and ointments.
fragrant oils and ointments.
Shraddha,
Shraddha,
and garlands. Su, wealth.
Wealth.
Samvrita,
Samvrita,
and encompassed.
encompassed.
Nirvi,
Nirvi,
by soldiers.
by soldiers.
Asi,
Asi,
swords.
swords.
Charma,
Charma,
and shields.
and shields.
Panivi,
Anivi,
in whose hands.
in whose hands.
Translation. Lord Achyuta's faithful wives, along with their children, followed the Lord and golden palanquins carried by the powerful men. The queens were adorned with fine clothing, ornaments, fragrance, oils, and flower garlands, and they were surrounded on all sides by the soldiers carrying sword and shields in their hands. Purport. According to Sridhar Swami, the word Vaji indicates that some of Lord Krishna's queen were transported by horse-drawn conveyances. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, here the Lord Achyuta, here Lord Achyuta is Krishna, is described here like he is shifting to Dwarka along with his queens. Right? How many queens were there? 16,000? 108, out of which 108 are the major queens. And then other 16,000 are, he got married later on. So many times we are asking, Krishna is a playboy, I mean, he's married he has so many wives, why he has to do that? Right? So I was also like kind of curious why Krishna has to do that. Right? Then until I came to this story of, I think, Banasur. Right? Banasur is like a deadly demon who was like really fond of women. So as soon as he sees like anybody who is like beautiful or like attractive, he would like kidnap her, take her to his cave, and then molest her or rape her like that. You know, and many times sometimes they are like the princes, and their father, brothers, they would go and fight with Banasur, but he was so powerful that he would kill all these kings and the sons of the kings, princes. So there was no remedy. And then he had quite a big collection, almost 16,000. You can imagine like what was like the demon looked like, or demon was doing, you know. So then one day, one sadhu was passing by nearby his cave, and these women, they would ask help. Hey, sadhu, please help us. Let us free. And then the sadhu said, well, I cannot fight with this demon. I cannot defeat this demon, so I'm not the one who is going to help you. And if anybody would help you, there's only one person. That's Lord Sri Krishna. And as soon as they heard the name Krishna, oh, Krishna. So where is he? How can we call him? How can we ask for help? And he said, he lives in everyone's heart in the form of Paramatma. So you pray. You pray to him and he will come. So all these women, they started like praying to Lord Krishna. Then Krishna had to appear, right? Krishna came, and as Krishna came there, Banasur also came, right? And Banasur said, hey, who are you? And Krishna looked at him and just slapped him once. Boom. And Banasur is dead. Now that's also like one way we can understand how powerful is God. You know, it's not only about like what God does, so many leelas. Right? Sometimes it may look like very simple. You know, Krishna is governed by somebody like Radharani, a very simple gopi, and sometimes by Yashoda Mai. Yashoda is like such a simple covered like woman, and she's like defeating Krishna. She's binding Krishna with ropes, and Krishna is so afraid. When this thing happened, she was tying Krishna, and then Balaram said, hey, don't tie him. And why? Why shouldn't I tie him? Because he's God. Balaram told, he's God. And then Yasodamai said, oh really? And who are you then? And he said, I'm also God. And then Yasodamai said, in my home all the goddesses started coming up. Come here, I'll also tie you up. And Balaram ran away. So like that, all this kind of leelas, like kind of pretty difficult to comprehend. So to make us understand that how powerful is God, this is one example. Right? It is given that Banasur, who is not defeated by any king or any group of army, Krishna comes and he doesn't have to struggle with him. Boom, one slap and then it's finished. Now after that, Krishna told, okay, you are all free to go home. You may go back to your respective homes. So as they were about to go, some of the women, they said that, we have been molested, we have been raped. Who will accept us? Who will accept us? Now, even our family may not accept us. Or who will marry us? No, we are finished. So where are we supposed to go? Then some of the others said that, if we get married, we need a husband. Husband means one who protects us. So since you're protected, why didn't you marry us? Right? So Krishna thought, wow, good proposal. Because they are not going to get married and nobody is going to accept them in the society. In Nepal, we have one organization called Mighty Nepal. Right? This Mighty Nepal. Mighty means like the woman's parental house. So Mighty Nepal means like, there are so many women who are taken to India, different parts of India, and they are sold. They are sold, and then they end up in prostitution. Right? And this organization goes to India, different places, especially Mumbai, Delhi, all these red light areas, and they will get these women come back to Nepal. So when they are back to Nepal, hardly any of them gets married. That's another challenge. Can you imagine? We go to that organization, or we send our son to that organization and says, get married to one of them, one of the past prostitutes. Even seeing, hearing that word prostitute, we don't like it. Right? So kind of Krishna is doing, he's showing his grace to these queens. Later on, they became queens. He married them, and not only he married them, he made them, like bungalows, not house, not like our 2-bedroom, 2 BHK, and this, not like that. He made a mansion for each and every queen and settled them. And not only that, all the time Krishna would be present for them, present for each and every wife, as if they are thinking, oh, Krishna is only with me, and I'm so fortunate Krishna is with me. But when it comes to human beings like us, if we get married to more than one, generally we don't. And these days the government also doesn't allow. There's a saying in Nepal, it's like, Dui Srimati ko poi, Padam Basiroi. Means if you get married to 2, then you're suffering like anything. Because if you go to one, other will say, why you're not coming to me? So in God's case, it's different. So Krishna is showing his mercy in so many ways, and he's showing his power, his position as God. Nobody can imitate, right? So, and finally, because there was so much of disturbance in Mathura, he created Dwarka, right? And overnight, he asked this Vishwakarma, I want a new city with so many facilities, 16,108 mansions and this and that, so many things he demanded, and overnight it happened. And not only that, he claimed the land from the ocean so that he doesn't want to disturb anybody there. And then in that land he did it. Until today, we can see that place. Right? But then unfortunately it's under the water. As Krishna was leaving, he said, okay, Samudra Dev, I've claimed your land, now you can claim back. because we're leaving. It's of no use. Right? And then many times I see in the internet, even in Wikipedia, which is like source of information, when I try to search any information about scriptures, about all this Krishna's Leela, they say, according to Hindu mythology. And I hate that word, mythology. Right? So, if it is mythology, it means like some kind of imagination, somebody made up a story, then we can go to Dwarka and then see that there are like lots of, evidences. The castles, the places, the buildings, the pillars and everything, it's still, you can find them there. And then luckily now India has a wonderful Prime Minister who is like very pious, who is very theist, who believes in God. He himself went down, put on this like scuba diving thing, and then he went and took the darshan of this Dwarka thing. Right, now it's in the border of like India and Pakistan, in that area. So Dwarka was made, and Krishna had like shifted all his queens there. And again, we can see that the Krishna who came here, who came to the earth, who took avatar, is still not yet the original Krishna. Right? Now this Krishna is Dwarkadesh, Mathuradesh. Right? When Gopkumar, he was like going back to Godhead. He went to so many places. He went through so many places. He started from, like Jagannath Puri, then from there he went to Swarga, from there to Satyalok, Brahmalok. And from Brahmalok he went to all these different layers, 8 layers of covering of universe. He met like so many devotees there, worshipping different deities. Right? And then finally he goes to Kailash. Right? In Kailash, like Lord Shiva, in Sadashiv form, he suggests, you should go again in Vaikuntha. So he goes to Vaikuntha worshipping Lakshmi Narayan, and from there he goes to Ayodhya, then Dwarka, and Mathura. And in Mathura he was serving Krishna. But then somehow he was dissatisfied. Right? And he was like kind of feeling kind of weird. I'm serving Krishna, who is my Aradhya, who is my worshipable personality, and then still I'm not satisfied fully. But then that time he didn't have any privilege to go beyond, Mathura. So at that moment, Narad Muni would appear and say that, you're having dissatisfaction. Radhika Narayan, and like is very, very like famous for appearing in different situations, right? So then Narad Muni appeared, and then I know the root of your dissatisfaction. And he says, well, what is the root? Lord Krishna is there, I'm serving him, and still I'm dissatisfied. So Narad Muni asked him, which form? Which form of Krishna? Which Krishna would you like to serve? And he says, Nanda Nanda. Nanda Nanda, who is son of Nanda Maharaj, who is staying in the courtyard, who is staying in the house of Nanda Maharaj, who is being taken care by Yashoda Mai. That Krishna I want. For that you have to go to Goloka Vrindavan. Right? And Gopkumar said, really? But each time I wanted to go to a better place to see Krishna, the Puspak Viman would come. But this time it's not coming. Then Narad Muni told him, you cannot go directly to Goloka Vrindavan from there. So you have to go back to the Martilok, the place where you're living, right? And then you have to practice Sankirtan. Sankirtan, you have to do holy names, you have to do Harinam. And then you will be allowed. So he comes back, and then to different timing, he left from Vrindavan, like in different era, and then now here is in different era. And he wanted to do Sankirtan, nobody's interested. Nobody's interested. No, in today's world also, like nobody's interested in Harinam. We all are like interested in making money. Going to different sightseeing, we want to go like Singapore, this port, that port. I remember in the early days when I was not devotee, my father-in-law was in ISKCON. So we had an idea. Let's go for family gathering. Let's go somewhere. So I was in Thailand, so I said, let's go to Singapore. Right? And then he said, no, let's go to Mayapur. You know, it sounds like similar, Mayapur and Singapore. You know, I said, what is Mayapur? Never heard of it. And when he described, I said, it's a village in India? No way. Why should we go there? Let's go to Singapore, let's have fun, beaches, and cities, you know. But then, of course, he won and took me to Mayapur, which I regretted. But once I was there, I said, wow, what a place. I didn't understand anything, but then I was like enjoying, I was like feeling some kind of, positive feeling. Since then I had this sikha, You know why I made sikha? Not because I was devotee. Because every time in Mayapur there was like security checking, and they would confiscate my mobile, all the time, Every time they would take my mobiles and things, Then I saw, the devotees who were like putting tilak and sikha, they are not checked. And I thought, okay, if I'm staying here for so many days, I should have sikha, so that I don't have to go through this security. So like that. So anyway, we have like many forms of Krishna. Then finally he did Sankirtan like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. He went to the jungle and he did Sankirtan with animals, plants, trees, Then special Pushpakraman came. And finally he was taken to Goloka Vrindavan. Beautiful. So and then finally he meets there. Long story short, finally he meets like Krishna there, Nanda. And it was like such a scene. Gopkumar running from this side, Krishna, and then Krishna coming from other side, Gopkumar, because they are meeting after so long time. So long time. Krishna is so eager. Actually, more than us, Krishna is more eager to meet us. More than us meeting Krishna, right? Because we are Krishna. We are Krishna's expansion. Right? We are like Krishna's energy. Can you imagine Krishna's energy going back to Krishna? Right? It's such a wonderful thing. So Krishna is waiting. Right? And Krishna would hug Gopkumar would hug Krishna, and they both fainted. They couldn't take it. And Krishna comes back to consciousness and say, Gopkumar, where have you been? Where have you been? I've been searching for you. Right? And Krishna is also like searching for us there. And he's missing us. He's missing us. Can you imagine, like, somebody takes one finger from us? If my one finger gets chopped off, I would love to go to hospital quickly and get it connected back, right? Because I need each and every part of the body. So in the same way, Krishna, like it's a big family. We are all a big family of Krishna, right? So Krishna is waiting. So like that, Krishna comes in a different form, different ways. And I was reading Nectar of Devotion, Part 2. Right there, I realized Krishna is expanding in different forms. The Krishna's original form is called the Visaya, subject. Right? Krishna's like, the forms are called Vishaya. And Vishaya has two types. One is Swarup, other is Anyarup. So Krishna has one Swarup, means one original form of Krishna, that is Nanda, Syama Sundar. That's what Srila Prabhupada describes. And then you're lucky that you have Radha, Syama Sundar. So he's the original Krishna. There's nobody else but original Krishna. Then we have Anya forms, many other forms of Krishna, starting from Mathuradesh, Dwarkadesh, Ram, Narayan, and named so many. And then as I was reading there, I could realize there's another section. One is called Vishaya, means like who is the original form of Krishna. And then another section is called Ashraya. Now Ashraya means Krishna's same energy, Krishna himself, Krishna's expanded energy, who is like dependent on the original form, Vishaya. And Ashraya is nothing else but devotees, us. Right, devotees. And of course, like devotees are also different types, like sadhakas, siddhas, and siddhas we have like two types he mentions, Rupa Goswami mentions. The first one he calls like Samprapta Siddha, means we become perfected by practice, then other is nitya siddha. One who is by birth like perfect. Right? Again, in this samprapta siddha, there are two types. Sadhan siddha and kripa siddha. Right? So basically, there are four types of devotees: sadhakas, practitioner, right? Sadhan siddha, who is like perfected by practice. Then kripa siddha, by mercy, by grace, we get perfected. And then nitya siddha, who are already perfected, no need anything. They are already situated in Krishna consciousness. Which one do you think we are? Are we sadhakas? Are we sadhan siddhas? Are we kripa siddhas? Or are we nitya siddhas? By seeing my life before Krishna consciousness, I'm not sadhan. Nitya siddha, for sure. Nitya siddha's symptoms are different, like Prabhupada. At the age of 5, when he had this typhoid, they wanted to feed him this chicken soup. He wouldn't open his mouth. Prabhupada was pure. I mean, he couldn't. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, at the age of 8, he had all these like scriptures learned by heart. And for me, it was like, Baba, black sheep, have you anyone? Yes, sir, yes. Or twinkle, twinkle, little star. We're a fool. I mean, we're teaching our kids like all these stupid rhymes and not teaching them the shastra, the scriptures, which are like beautiful, which are useful, right? Like that. So, Rupa Goswami explains like this thing, and Prabhupada would say that in ISKCON, we are sadhan siddha, trying to attract the mercy of the Lord, kripa. Right? So we know that by our endeavor, we won't be able to go back to God. Is there anybody here who believes that by doing perfect sadhana, we can go back to God? And we don't need mercy of the Lord? Right? I think it's more of mercy than of our own endeavor, isn't it? So Prabhupada is saying we should do sadhana in such a way that we attract the mercy of the Lord. So each time after doing any seva, any service, like making the wigs and making garland, Prabhuji is managing, somebody is cooking, every day we're supposed to come in front of Radha Syam Sundar Gaur and fold our hand and then pray. See Krishna, I have done so much service to you. I made garlands. Right? And making garland is a normal service? Is it a normal service? No. It's not a normal service. How do you know it's not a normal service? You see other women in Adelaide. What are they doing now? Maybe making breakfast for their family. Or maybe somebody's still sleeping. Or somebody's in work, doing something, cleaning for somebody else. But then you have come here, sitting here, wasting your time making garland, which is going to be used just one time for the deities. And then tomorrow it will be somewhere in the garden, in a burial, and you're working so hard. So you tell Krishna, Krishna, see, I'm wasting my time making garland for you. Please be merciful to me. Ekadasis, we do lots of vratas. We don't eat anna, but we eat everything else. In Ekadasi, you know why it's called Ekadasi? Ekadasi means 11, right? So on Ekadasi we have at least 11 items. We are so worried that we cannot eat so many things. That's why we search this ye chalega, wo chalega, like that. And this will work, and then we collect so many items. But Ekadasi, we are not eating anna. Right? Is it a simple thing? Is it a simple thing? No. The whole world is eating so many nonsense on that day. But we are like fasting, not eating anna. So you go to Krishna, hey Krishna, see, today I could have eaten like rice and so many other things, but I fasted for you. Please be merciful to me. Right? So Krishna is so merciful to attract us. He takes different forms according to the different level of consciousness. We have all different level of consciousness, at least 400,000. Right? Among the 8.4 million, species, 400 are human beings classified based on consciousness. So we have 400,000 different levels of consciousness. And 400 different levels of consciousness doesn't get attracted by one Shyama Sundar. It doesn't. So according to our consciousness, we need all varieties of deities. Somebody is like attracted to Nrsingadev, this is God. No, look at Krishna, this is too simple. Going around with girlfriend, what is this? But Nrsingadev is God. Look around, killing them. And somebody else will, no, Lord Ram is God. Look at it, so disciplined, Maryada Purusha. No, because we have different consciousness. Sattva-guni will like Ram, Lord Ram. Rajaguni will like Nrsingadev. Right? And Tamaguni will like Lord Shiva. No, he's giving mercy to everybody, Ashutosh. You just like, like do some worship, pray, hey Lord Shiva, and boom, tathastu. So merciful. So even by a little bit of endeavor, I can get the mercy. So the lazy people get that. They will go to Lord Shiva, So Krishna expands himself in many, many, many forms to attract all the living entities back to the original form called Shyama Sundar. The whole objective of like having all these like leelas, all these religions, all this whatever, all these spiritual practices and everything is to attract us eventually back to Radha Shyama Sundar. Now you're lucky and you're already here in Goloka Vrindavan with Radha Shyama Sundar. Right? So like that, all these leelas are made for us to understand Krishna in his original form. And if we don't understand, if we still don't like put a little bit of intelligence and then try to go back to Godhead, it's our misfortune. Many times we would like join ISKCON. We are so fortunate. Can you imagine among like so many thousands of people living in Adelaide? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 20, 30 of us sitting here, listening to Bhagavatam. And I'm sitting here reciting Bhagavatam. And I was saying, can you imagine how fortunate we are? Right? And then the biggest misfortune is, we have come to ISKCON, finally. And yet, we're not taking the best advantage. Right? We're not doing the best. Still here. We came to ISKCON to change ourselves, to go close to Radha Shyama Sundar. But then we end up like changing ISKCON, according to us. That's the worst part. I always like check myself. I always check myself, especially to my authorities, to other like devotees who are helping me to become pure. Am I changing them? This is very dangerous. I've seen so many devotees go to their guru and try to convince him. Gurudev is according like this person this. I'm the best. You have to recognize me. And somehow Guru gets convinced. What a big loss. Why? Because Guru is supposed to change us. Not like we're supposed to change Guru. Right? ISKCON is supposed to change us. Not like we shape ISKCON. No. Prabhupada has given excellent way to realize Radha Shyama Sundar. Excellent way. We don't have to invent anything else. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to do anything else. Just follow. Like Prabhupada said, just do what I did. Just speak what I'm speaking. Just repeat. Right? And Shyama Sundar Prabhu? No, Shyama Sundar Prabhu, right? When he was sent to London, says go to London and open center. So the 3 couples went, Shyama Sundar Prabhu went, and they were just 6 months old in Krishna consciousness. So you would ask Prabhupada, what are we supposed to speak there? I know nothing. And not only that, he was like from a drug background and a hippie. Heavy, like very rough person. What are we supposed to speak? And Prabhupada said, just speak what I am speaking. Just repeat. And he took the instruction, and you know what he did? He bought a Walkman. There was like cassette, tape of Srila Prabhupada. He would put the tape and then he would play. He would earphone. And when he's giving class, of course, like with earphone it looks odd. So he would put chadar to cover that earphone and play. And Srila Prabhupada was saying, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pause. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Again, play. And then, we should realize God. We should realize God. And then the audience were like listening to him and saying, ooh, very deep person, huh? He's thinking. Before he's speaking, he's thinking a lot. Very deep person. And actually, he was like listening to Prabhupada and speaking, and it worked. And it worked. Now, who got attracted to him? George Harrison, the Beatles. And as soon as the Beatles got attracted, boom, the ISKCON like blasted like anything. Right? ISKCON boomed. Right? George Harrison for the first time sponsored like books, printing books of Srila Prabhupada, the Krishna book. Right? And then not only that, like when George Harrison said Hare Krishna, it went like so viral, it went so like speedy, like it spread like anything. Everyone's talking about like Hare Krishna, and within the next 4-5 years, the Hare Krishna became a household word in the Western world. And it worked. So we just have to repeat what Srila Prabhupada is saying, even though we don't understand. That's what I'm doing. Don't think that I'm speaking because I'm a realized soul. No, I'm just repeating what Srila Prabhupada is saying. And it's working. I think it's working now also for myself. Right? So Prabhupada has given us like such a wonderful thing to realize the ultimate goal of life, to eventually meet Radha Shyam Sundar, and not any other form. Right? And then being born in a Hindu family, we are so confused. We have so many deities, so many gods. And many times we are all even confusing ourselves with demigods. What to talk about among gods. Right? If you read like Srimanasitya, Raghunath Das Goswami is saying, not even Lakshmi Narayan. No. Don't be confused. Don't stop there. Not even Lakshmi Narayan. Only Radha Shyam Sundar. Only Radha Shyam Sundar. Right? The original thing. So this is the reason why we are given this scriptures, hearing this Leela. No? What do you call? Machida Madgat Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Charamanti. Right? Devotees come together discussing about the Leelas, different pastimes of the Lord. And by doing that, we feel satisfied and we become purified. And eventually we can go back to God. So this is the business, the whole business. But then we are not reading these. Like Srimad Bhagavatam is another step towards Radha Shyam Sundar. The Srimad Bhagavatam will not give you ultimately Radha Shyam Sundar. For that, you have to go to the next book called Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? So Bhagavad Gita, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Sarva Dharma Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Braja. Right? And is that the ultimate goal of life? Is that the ultimate goal of life? Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Braja. Is it? Not yet. Not yet. It's the beginning. Why? Because Because he says, Aham Tam Sarva Pabebhyo. What he is going to award us? Moksha Isyamimasa. So what? Moksha. What do you mean moksha? Right? Are we after moksha or bhakti? Moksha or bhakti? Yeah, bhakti. Not moksha. Right? Moksha is just liberation from this material, thing. We are not interested in moksha. And moksha will take you to which place? Not Golok, Baba. This is the problem. Prabhupada wanted us to read the scriptures scrutinizingly. And so when we read scriptures scrutinizingly, we understand the Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Vasudeva, not Shyam Sundar. So Vasudeva is the quadruple, one of the 4 quadruples, who is residing in Vaikuntha. Right? Who is residing in Vaikuntha. So Vasudeva comes and said, all I can give you is liberation, take you back to Vaikuntha. Right? So Vaikuntha, 5 types of liberation: Sayujya, Samyukya, Salokya, Sarupya, and Sarsi. 5 types of moksha. And Sayujya moksha is going to take us to Brahmajyoti, which is useless. Prabhupada said spiritual suicide. And then only 4 For mukti is going to take you back to Vaikuntha. So Vasudeva is correct. So Vasudeva is going to take you back to Vaikuntha. But that's not where we stop. Then Srimad Bhagavatam starts. And Srimad Bhagavatam is telling us the process to go back to Godhead. Nama Sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranasanam, right? Like, do you do Nama Sankirtan? It's giving you one more step ahead. Right? One more step ahead. Then Chaitanya Charitamrita is talking about Radha Shyam Sundar. Right? In Antalila, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing all those realizations, which is the realization of Radha Shyam Sundar. Right? And that's the ultimate book actually, the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that's how we are supposed to go step by step ahead. And all these scriptures are designed to take us back, right? And then raising our consciousness in different levels. Like I earlier said, we had 400,000 consciousness, so eventually going up and up and up and up. Right? That's why when we read like the same scripture, like Bhagavad Gita again and again, we see different slokas. And I've tried reading more than 20 times, and each time, even till now, when I read it, wait, even this sloka is there? I didn't see it before. No, it's not that I didn't read it before, but then it didn't catch me before. Or I didn't understand that sloka before. But now I'm understanding. That's why, these scriptures are designed in such a way that we eventually go to Radha Shyam Sundar. And if you have ended somewhere else, then you have not ended your journey. The journey will only end when we reach Goloka Vrindavan and meet Radha Shyam Sundar. Radha Shyam Sundar ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions or comments? Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hey, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. You should not say that. What if I believe it? Then I'm gone, finished.
Kirtan, Adelaide. Leave a like and subscribe.